A developing story the Target 12 investigators first broke on WPRI.com. The deadline came and went at noon today, but no companies submitted a bid to build the new westbound Washington Bridge. So what happens now? Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie joins us now live in studio with reaction from the governor. Alex?
Well, Kim, this is just the latest twist in the 205 days since the westbound bridge was shut down. Now it's back to the drawing board. A deadline came and went at noon on Wednesday, and no contractor submitted a bid to design and build the new westbound Washington Bridge, which the state had hoped to have open by August of 2026.
We kind of expected that. We put it in a very aggressive time schedule together.
Governor Dan McKee telling 12 News when the project goes out for a rebid, the state will consider a different timeline.
So we got to get out with a more realistic type of a time schedule to make sure that bidders do bid on it. We're very confident we're going to get good quality bidders as we go out.
A spokesperson for the Rhode Island DOT tells Target 12 expediency is still the goal and that the agency will now be reviewing and potentially adjusting factors affecting contractor participation to the RFP before rebidding the project. The request for bids to design and build the new bridge, a contract valued at over $300 million, have been open since April 30th. Documents posted on the state portal indicate there had been interest in the job among vendors. Dozens of questions were submitted to RIDOT about the scope of the project and the agency's expectations between May 17th and June 18th. One interested contractor asked RIDOT to reevaluate the procurement process and consider an adequate time extension to develop a responsible bid. But RIDOT responded that no changes would be made at this time.
But I think we want to reinforce that the demolition that's going to start very shortly is on a time track that is an advance of what we had anticipated. So it puts us in a spot where we can't get a new contractor on there to build a bridge until that demolition is done.
The federal government's expected to pay for a majority of the project. There's a pending application for a $221 million grant to secure extra money beyond standard highway grants. It's not clear if that application will be impacted by today's news. With the Target 12 investigators live in studio, I'm Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
Developing news. Major questions tonight about who will build the new Washington Bridge after no company submitted bids to design and build the new structure. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Kim Kalunian. The contract to do so was valued at more than $300 million. Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie joins us now live in studio with new reaction from the governor and the mayor of Providence. Alex?
Well, Kim, as part of that massive proposed contract, Governor McKee had offered companies up to $10 million in incentives if they got the job done more quickly. But that wasn't enough to convince potential bidders to take the risk. A new twist in the Washington Bridge breakdown. No contractors want to build the state's new westbound structure. The deadline for bids passed Wednesday at noon with no takers.
We kind of expected that.
Governor Dan McKee telling 12 News the lack of bids didn't come as a surprise to him, given the administration's aggressive timeline to have the new bridge open by August of 2026. Yet speaking to 12 News just a day earlier, Rhode Island DOT Director Peter Alviti gave no indication he had any concern that the bid solicitation would fail, saying only that he was awaiting Wednesday's deadline.
At that time, we'll look to see what they say, and I have no predisposition as to what to expect.
Now it's no longer clear if the new bridge can still be completed by the governor's target date of August 2026.
We'll find out how realistic that was, and then if we need to set a new time frame based on the responses we get from these new RFPs, we certainly will let everybody know.
Another part of the project is moving forward. Last Friday, the McKee administration announced it had awarded a separate contract to demolish the old westbound bridge.
So we're already in the motion of putting another RFP together, and then as soon as we can put one together that we have confidence in, we'll put it out for bid again.
I learned about it through the press.
Providence Mayor Brett Smiley expressing disappointment during an appearance this afternoon on 12 News at 4.
My business owners and residents are still being impacted by this bridge, so the sooner we can get this thing done, the better. That said, they have approved the demolition contract. That has to go first anyway, so I'm hopeful that this doesn't mean that the actual work will get delayed.
Target 12 also reached out to East Providence Mayor Bob DeSilva, who was not immediately available for comment. We'll continue to update this story on air and online. With the Target 12 investigators live in studio, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.